I'm from Belize, so Belize is a small country in the Caribbean, but we're actually on Central America, bordered by Mexico to the north and Guatemala to the south. So I migrated from Belize to California in 1996. And living in Belize, I came from a large family, 13 kids. I'm just right in the middle, but number 7. And life in Belize, again, was it's a gorgeous place, and every time we talk Belize, people say, hey, why you left Belize to come here? But life in a country like Belize was always a struggle, especially with our family, with so many kids and just family providing for that. It was not the easiest. So I had family in the U.S. already, and all you hear is these beautiful stories of this life over here, the land over here. So in '96, I got offered a summer vacation to come and visit my aunt up in California, LA. And I made the trek. I came up, and my uncle at the time had a small construction company. And I was only here for the summer, and he says, hey man, I would like you to come work with me for the summer if you want to make some cash. I'm like, why not? Sounds like a fair deal. So his first job that he put me on was to come and do some renovation at a winery up in Northern California, actually, to be Stockton to be exact. And I came up there to do some construction work. We were in there to do some renovation. This winery owner just bought the winery, and he needed to get it all ready for the season. It's around July or something like that when I came up. So I went in there and did the work. After the work was done, about 3 weeks, he says, hey, the harvest is around the corner. I'm going to need extra help. Are you willing to work? And I'm like, sure, I don't got nothing to do. My uncle said, sure, if he's offering you the job, go for it. He said it's about 3 months, so I decided to do it. And that was my first inkling with the wine business. I went in there and just didn't know nothing. Before that, I never had a glass of wine. Coming from a country like Belize, where beer and rum is the main thing, so wine was non-existent on the Christmas dinner table. It's rum and beer, it's never wine. So for me, I never had an idea of that part of the business or that even existed. So coming out and doing that job, I thought winery was pretty new to me, and but exciting at the same time. So that was how I first got into business. And the winemaker at the time said, look, I think you have some good work ethic that I could use. I would like to see if you want to actually work here full time. I told him, well, I'm on a visa. I don't know how I'm going to do that. He says, I'll take care of all that for you, and which he did. And that's kind of my story, how I became involved in the wine business. So that's how I came about. So for the beginning, I don't know if there was any, I didn't fall in love with it when I first got into the business. I mean, it took a few years because I was 19 years old, 18, 19. So I just had a job. But it took a few years for me to actually see something different in it. I went to a tasting, and it still, to me for now, present day, even when I go to tasting today, I try to put a lot of attention to it, because when I went to that tasting the first time, I went there with a mind thinking, okay, this is going to be a party. So I'm going there with the intentions of, man, I can't wait to be there and get there. When I got there, it was nothing like what I expected it to be. I saw people that was very in tune with what was going on, meaning books, notes, writing notes, tasting wine, spitting it out. And to me, I was like, wait a minute, something's not, it's not right, because you guys pay to come in here, and you guys are not even drinking the wine. So that's really what kind of shifts my focus into, wait, there's more to this product than what you think. Well, I talked to the winemaker that was present at the time, told him, look, these people are not here to drink, they're here doing something different. And then that's when I think the real conversation starts happening about, look, all these people you're seeing here are buying for these restaurants. They're here to actually buy our product to take into the restaurant for a larger audience. So what you're seeing here, there's a bigger audience that they have to cater to. And I'm like, okay, good. There's a lot to learn here that I don't know. And that was my real reason why I want to learn this, because it's not what it perceived to be, it's way bigger than that. So that's how I really got focused and wanted to learn this business. Yeah, I mean, to me, the fun about it is there's a lot of different aspects of it. I mean, I would lie if I say the the entertainment that comes along with it. I would lie if I tell you that wasn't, but that's really a big part of probably me why I like it. It's just a lot of entertainment. I love that. Not only that, but it's a lot of teaching as well. It provides a lot for me. This business provides a lot for me now, but it also gives me a platform to actually help people that wants to break into the industry and actually do what have been done for me. So I like the idea that I can stand in this business now and say, look, I've been down that road to these new individuals that want to break through. I can give them this story. I can show them the way that I've done this. I started just like you, and there's no reason why you can't. So I love the fact that I have that platform to be able to do that for someone else, because that's what this whole wine business is. It's really, it's a non-stop cycle. As I'm gonna leave, somebody else gonna come in, and probably when they come in, there's gonna be a lot more stuff than I know. They're probably gonna know a lot more than me. So it's a never stop, it's a never ending cycle. It just keeps turning around. So you are here to actually help the next person behind you, because that's what have been done for me. So that's how I see it.
Well, continuing with that, do you see a lot of people like you in the business?
I think so. I think that's the whole idea behind this whole the wine industry, is because somebody created an avenue, created something to make life or the wine business accessible to someone else. So I think the whole industry in a whole is based upon that. It's based upon how do I make the road a lot easier for the next individual. So yes, if you say yes, I see a lot of people like me in the business. I see a lot. And I take that with stride, because I love creating. I love to see me creating for other people. For instance, I created a whole industry in my home country of Belize. I opened a distributorship based on what I know, what I've learned here. And I'm introducing a whole new generation of my family to wine. And they're out there selling wine versus, I mean, in Belize, a country that has nothing to do with wine. But now, because of what I've learned here, I've figured out that, look, wine doesn't stay in one spot. It keeps moving. It evolves. And so me doing that for Belize, I just took a young kid and give him a whole different perspective of a different business or job avenue that would have never thought of that before, but I brought that to his forefront because I feel that's my duty. I need to spread that just like they did for me, So I think that's the difference with the wine business. It's a never-ending door. It keeps evolving. As you can tell, I'm not great at interviews, but I think I am. I carry my heritage on my sleeve. I love talking about my country. I am so involved in it. One of my big thing is trying to take that little country, Belize, and bring wine of caliber to them, and try to make that correlate with the food that we have here, with the food that we have in Belize. So I've talked to tourists and restaurateurs and resorts. I mean, when I go to Belize almost on a regular basis, and it's strange to see that wasn't a thing for them. It was never wine and food in a sense. It was more great food, and then the wine was an afterthought. So that was my whole idea, to change it. But by doing that, I'm saying, look, our food in Belize, yes, let's start pairing it with wine. Let's do it. Let make it together. Let make that Latin heritage sticks out. So I go back there and I do these fun dinners, I call them, and I would bring some of the more stuff that people would not even think about pairing with food. I've been doing street food with my wine because that's what I know. That's what I grew up on. And now I've learned the wine, so I'm trying to merge them together. So for me, that's one of the big part, what I think I'm contributing back to my country, is giving them a different avenue that, hey, wine and food goes together, man. There's a big part that we've missed, but let's not keep missing it. Let's get it going. Let's get up. Let's get there. So that's what we're doing. Man, I've been with Klinker Brick since 2006, so I've been their winemaker since then. The Felton family, great family here in Lodi. Probably one of the maybe top 3 wine brands here, family owned and family run. So we're making a bunch of different wines. I mean, if I would lay it off my hand, I need more fingers. But the idea behind Klinker Brick, man, is you know what? I want to keep it as fun and friendly, but yet I want everyone to be involved. I want every walks of life to have a piece of this or feel like they're welcome, feel like they're family. So for instance, I am actually a head winemaker, and I mean, I'm not from a wine background. My assistant, which is Chris Rivera, he has his own brand. After working with us, he has his own brand. He didn't come from a wine background, but we work for this family, and these families are so inclusive. They want you to succeed. So there's nothing but plenty of admiration for these guys, just because they actually are doing that. They just don't, not by talking it, but by the actions and the people that they hire, you know, to be part of the team. We got Hispanic people in places that's contributing to the wine business for us, you know, or for the business. So we feel proudly at that. So yeah, I'm a proud winemaker for Klinker Brick for the past 14 years. I'm really happy to be there. Yeah, I mean, for winemaker, man, I think different wines require different techniques, and it's all about where you are in your life. Like, for instance, a few years ago, I was so big into rosé. Not that I'm not anymore, but like rosé, when people would come up to me about 5 or 10 years ago, I'm like, "What's your favorite wine?" Man, I love rosé. And they presume that to be like, oh, you're a newbie into wine or whatever, not knowing that rosé, in my opinion, is probably one of the most complicated wine to make, you know, and complicated wine to drink if you really pay attention to it. There's so much going on there that I think once you sit down and have the conversation about it, I think you can enlighten people to where I never thought of that, you know. So those are the things that I think for me, it all depends on where I'm at given time. Is what I'm going for, or my favorite wine. Like right now, I'm enjoying this wine from Susan. I think it's a Spanish varietal, and I love it. 25 years. 25 years. I've been in the business since '96. For me, again, I was fortunate enough that and again, I come from a country where our main industry is tourism. Belize strive, breed, live tourism. So my interaction with people or if you want to say white or Caucasian, my interaction with them was always on a level of, look, they're here to actually enjoy my presence. That's kind of how I did it. So I took that from there and saw how they navigate, and I brought that here. I figured I'm already dealing with these people back home. This shouldn't be a hard path for me. Now I'm speaking for myself. I can't speak for every other country, but for myself, I thought it wasn't something hard because I already was dealing with this with Caucasian white people from a child, you know, that was already in my life. So me coming in here, it wasn't hard, it was easy to navigate. And also I think the wine industry, on the levels where we are, like for winemaking, I think the winemaking part of it is pretty neutral. I don't think there's a lot of gaps there, right? In the sense of winemaking. When me and a winemaking brother get together, I think we're gonna talk the same language, right? Because we're talking winemaking. I'm not talking status now, because then that separates the whole thing. But once it comes to the level of winemaking, I think it's pretty neutral. We share the same passion, we talk the same language. That's what's easy. If that's the question you're asking, that's easy. Now, I can't say it from a consumer standpoint. I can say that gets a little difficult, you know, because a consumer that has no history of wine or no background in wine and probably enjoy wines, it could be real intimidating going into a setting that actually involves wine. And even though you might want to be there, it's very intimidating because you don't know nothing about this product. And specifically if you're somebody of color, you walk into a room and predominantly it's going to be, you know, Caucasian or other people in there that you don't feel or you don't belong. And some rooms do make that uncomfortable or do make that a known thing. So to me, that's the part that I would say is a little sticky slope or harder to navigate through as a consumer. As a winemaker, I feel at home. I feel at home. Just by me showing up, doing this, that's what makes it easier, because the person that looks at, I mean, I'm assuming there's going to be a massive amount of people watching this interview that you guys probably have on your audience. There's going to be a few people of color. See, when you go to a winery, you're not going to see me behind the bar pouring the wine. So when you get to hear the story, then wow, this guy's involved in that. I never knew. I've been there, but you know what I'm saying? So this is what needs to happen. So you giving us this platform to talk about it and showcasing it, I think that's what's going to make people comfortable, make people want to get out there and say, you know what, I'm a part of that too. I can be a part of that too. So this is why it's important. When I came to Lodi again, I was probably the only, I'll say I made black or minority winemaker that I knew. I mean, there wasn't a handful of wineries around here. I mean, there was, to be correct, there was about 8 wineries when I came here, and 6 of those were large wineries. So there was only maybe 2 or 3 family-owned wineries around. So for me, coming in here, I went to work for one of those small wineries. So it gave me a home in a sense, because this is where I actually build my brand, my name. This is where it happened. So I have I have nothing but a lot of love for this town, this community. I love it, and they have shown me nothing but gratitude here, man. So for me, the change I have seen is the amount of wineries that's popped up, and the different ethnicity of winemakers in these wineries now. It's becoming so diverse that I mean, it makes me happy. You know, it makes me happy, because I remember when, man, it was me alone or me and another guy, and that was it. And now I've seen people of color and minority all around, and it makes me feel happy that, look, we're getting out there. It's Lodi is definitely opening up his arm and spreading its wings and accepting the changes, because this is where we are, an ever-changing world, and Lodi is definitely accepting that. So it makes me happy to be a part of this community because of those reasons. So I mean, one of the things too to understand, and if you're new and don't understand this, there's so many different avenues to the wine business than just winemaking. There's so many different avenues. So find out what you're passionate about. If it's marketing, there is marketing in the wine business. If it's sales, there is a position for sales. You know, if it's whatever you're looking for, if it's a controller or it goes, there is a position for it there. So if you want to get into wine business, you can't do it by thinking about it. You have to get involved. So I would say get involved where they're on a very low level. To me, it's good to find a wine that you like and see how you can contribute to them. See how you can get into that door. See how, and to me, that's your start. So if you can find a way to get in there, it's a huge world out there. You might find something that you like. So don't shortchange yourself thinking that, well, what I know is this. I don't know how that would play in the wine business. No, there is an avenue for what you know to do it. There is an avenue for it. So don't think that you can't. There's a position for all of us in there, man. So go to your little winery that you like, the local winery that you like, and start talking to these people. Find out how you can get in there, because that's what it takes. Be persistent. That's what it takes. So that's my advice to people of color wanting to get into this.